friends, it's Miss Melinda from Charleston First Church of the Nazarene, and I'm so excited that you've decided to join me for another children's Bible story. Good evening to you, good evening to you, good evening, I love you, good evening to all of my Storytime friends. It's so good to have you here. And as the rain comes down outside, it's the perfect time to read one of my favorite Bible stories, Noah and the Ark. Last week, we learned about Adam and Eve and how God's love for them never really changed. Even when he was upset that they broke the rules, the Lord still loved Adam and Eve, and he still highly favored them. This week, we're going to learn also about some people who didn't do what the Lord wanted, but that he still loved. Noah and the Ark. Look at all those amazing birds, friends. Pretty cool. A long, long, long time ago, no one said thank you to God anymore. Can you imagine, friends, all the amazing things that the Lord does for us? And people stopped praying to him and stopped thanking him. It's a shame. That's one of the best ways to have a close relationship with the Lord, is just to talk with him. He wants to hear from us. Everyone chose to be bad. This made God very, very sad. One man was different, and his name was Noah. He talked to God and listened to God. Can you imagine if everyone around you decided to break the rules at school or to break the family rules? How upset your teacher would be, or your family, your mom and dad? The Lord was upset, but he wasn't really mad. It just made him super sad that people no longer appreciated all of the wonderful things he did. God told Noah, there will be a huge flood. Build a boat. Build a big boat. Build a very big boat. Noah's boat was called an ark. Noah's neighbors laughed at Noah. We live in the desert. Where's the water? Look at Noah building his boat while the people laugh. The Lord asked Noah to do something very strange. Noah did live in the desert, and there was hardly any rain, hardly any water. There'd be no need for a boat. But Noah, he listened to the Lord, even though he didn't understand really why he was telling him to do it. He did the right thing. He listened to God instead of the neighbors. God said to fill the boat, the big boat, the very big boat, with 2 of every animal. God promised to keep Noah, his family, and the animals safe inside the ark. Even though the Lord asked Noah to build this boat in an area where they'd never needed a boat before, God made a promise. And he told him he would keep him safe if he just built the boat. And if there's one thing we know about the Lord, he keeps his promises. And that's something I want you to always remember, friend. Then it started to rain and rain. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. All those animals, all those days and nights, and all that rain. Look at Noah's desert home. It's totally covered with water and looks like the ocean now. And the little fish says, count your fingers, count your toes, and do it all again. That is how many days it rained and rained and rained. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Even though God promised to keep Noah and his family safe, can you think about how noisy it would have been on the boat? Even on a very big boat with 2 of every animal, it would have been crowded and dark, and all of the animals making such a loud racket. And I bet the people were afraid. But they had God's promise to pull them through. And even when we're afraid, we need to cling to God's promises. Noah's ark floated higher and higher, higher even than the mountaintops. As water covered the earth, all the living things of the earth drowned. The Lord was already sad because people didn't listen to him anymore, and people didn't thank him for the wonderful things he did. He sent the flood because he was so sad. And now all of his beautiful creations are drowning. How do you think that made him feel? I bet he was so sad as he looked upon it. But finally, just as God promised, the rain stopped. And then God sent a wind. Make a sound like the rain, and now make a sound like the wind, the fish says. What do you think the rain would sound like as it fell onto the boat? Ticka, 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 ticka. Can you hear the rain hitting the boat? I bet it tapped and it went whoosh, and then the wind came. Whoosh. And what does the wind do when it's raining, friends? It starts to dry it up. And that's what we're going to read about next time. Noah and God's promise. Friends, as we go through this time of the coronavirus, when we can't be together at school and we can't be together in the sanctuary with our church families, enjoying fellowship with one another and a sermon from Pastor Randy, I want you to remember that even in these tough times, God loves us so much. We're his favorite creation. Of all the animals, he made us in his image, and he loves us so much. And he has promised that we have a special place by his side when we get to heaven. And God keeps those promises. So until we can be together again, remember that your church family at Charleston First Church of the Nazarene and Elk River Church of the Nazarene loves you very much. And we hope that you're enjoying these Bible stories and look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye, friends.